Hey Nick,
Hey, buddy.
how you doing?
I'm good. What's going on with you?
Yeah, not too much. So, did you know that it's not possible for a nose to be 12 inches long?
It's not?
No, because at that point it would be a foot.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, maybe we don't have it yet.
We don't have it yet.
Hey, everybody. This is Wyatt with Nick with
Hi.
your favorite podcast, I assume. We don't have it yet. Nick, how you doing?
I'm awesome. How you doing?
Pretty good. I hope you really enjoyed this week's joke. I put a lot of effort into that one.
I can tell that you definitely didn't just open up a dad joke book and pull that out at a random page or anything like that.
How
gonna have to
could I
start
possibly do that?
You're gonna have to start checking these off, as you go down the list, because some of these are material that I've seen on cookies or in the vicinity of cookies in your past life. So, I mean, if you got fans of your dad jokes, man, you can't just be rehashing the same old material. This is the internet age.
You're right, and the internet lives forever. So again, this is We Don't Have It Yet, the podcast where we don't really have anything. It's Nick and I have been friends for, I don't know, probably a couple years at this point.
Years.
Maybe. I don't know.
What do you want me to say? Yes, years, yes.
Well, I honestly, I don't know if it's been a year or two. My concept of time has been shot for the last probably 15 years, so.
No, like 22-ish.
All right, so a little while. We've been online friends. This podcast, we finally figured out, I think, the format, I guess I should say, of what we want to do. So,
I think so.
Later on in the episode, we will discuss what we had teased, I suppose, at the end of last episode, where I asked Nick to watch some episodes of the 2019 remake of the Twilight Zone, and Nick asked me to play the 2011 Supergiants game, or I think Supergiant Games.
Supergiant Games, yeah.
Bastion. You may know them from Transistor, or a little game called Hades, I think is
Wasn't
what it's
very
called.
Popular. Most people won't have heard of it. Yeah, very niche, very niche.
A niche game.
Yeah.
I might have to check that out after, looking at this. But so what have you been up to for the last week, Nick?
Man, I'm just trying to think. Youth soccer. I don't think anybody's really too jazzed to hear about that. Oh no, I had Papa last week, which I didn't play in, but did volunteer a couple days just to help out. It's a good cause. For anybody that's not familiar, Papa is a pinball tournament held here in the Chicagoland area that's kind of a world championship of sorts, and I'm sure I'm going to butcher the history of this, but it was put together by pinball legend Lyman Sheets years ago, who tragically passed away. And now the event these past couple of years has been resurrected kind of in his honor and acts as a charity event for suicide awareness and prevention. So really cool event, obviously good cause to donate some time. And it was nice to just even if I'm not playing, hang out around pinball folks and, take it all in. It was a level of competition that I'm probably not at by any stretch of the imagination, but hey, they had a bank of free play machines for warm-ups, and in between shifts I kind of hit those up and just hung out, and a good hang for a couple days.
Did they have anything? I know where was it held? Did you say? I'm sorry.
It was at Interium where I play. Yeah, where I play monthly tournaments.
What did you get a chance to play when you were doing the free play stuff?
Pretty much what was open, but I was glued onto Doom. Doom, excuse me.
I love a Doom pinball.
Yeah, there should be a Doom pinball. It's such a no-brainer. but Dune mostly. And then I was just also playing. God, what was it? I'm trying to think. I'm blanking out, man. Well, Kong, because the prototype was there, and I was just like, let me get some rounds on that. I did play a couple games of Harry Potter, kind of here nor there, but obviously that was kind of in demand. And then, your modern Stern lineup too. They didn't really have anything like, of course they had, older machines there and EM stuff, mechanical stuff, but the warm-up machines were kind of just banks of more modern titles that you see more everywhere, just to kind of get everybody loose, I suppose.
Yeah. Sadly, I haven't.
Kiss was the other one that I was hitting on. Sorry,
the 70s?
The older Kiss
mechanical?
machine. Yeah. So as I finished saying that, around the corner was a Kiss machine, and I was playing it. So there you go. That's what it was.
Yeah, we actually have. It's under repair right now. It actually has been for a while at our pinball club, a Kiss machine, which it's a very simple game, but it's pretty fun to just kind of put a little bit of time on.
I was just knocking around, man. It's just that going in, that's what I end up playing well, actually, too, is situations like that where I just have no expectations whatsoever, and I'm not, all right, I got to do this and then the other, and then remember to hit that ramp to trigger this. No, shoot where it lights up and just have fun. And I was just doing that. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's basically. I haven't played League in probably about a month or so with the move and everything, but the last League night I went to, we had 3 modern Sterns, and then I think we had the old mid to late 70s maybe Bobby Orr's Power Play, which is an old electromechanical machine. And I got my ass kicked on all of the modern Sterns. So I feel like obviously there's still a lot of skill involved in the electrical mechanical ones, but when you're not like you said, you're not chasing the mode. You're not like, okay, I got to shoot left ramp and then shoot center ramp, and then if I hit this, I can get the 18 times multiplier that gives me 480 million points. Whereas Bobby Orr, it's like there's 8 drop targets, and you just need to cycle through those to make your bonus go up.
Well, it's not to say that there aren't rules and things to check off the list. There certainly are, but I mean it levels the playing field a lot too, because those machines aren't everywhere where people play pinball, and thus people haven't memorized them back, forward, up, down, straight, whatever. Whereas the modern Sterns, they're producing them at such numbers now that they're really getting out there everywhere, and I feel like people just have a much, much better handle on those machines.
Yeah, this past spring I played in a tournament, and there was a guy, he's probably early 20s or so, that was there. I think he's he's in the top 10 in New Hampshire for IFPA. He might even be towards the top in the US too. Like, he's amazing. And he came in he was just warming up on, I think, Venom. And he casually put up 1.6 billion.
Oh yeah, just cash.
He set the high score, I think, or the grand champion score on 6 machines he touched that night. Dungeons and Dragons, he walked up and put up a couple billion. It was like, wow.
It's funny you mentioned that on Dungeons and Dragons, because I was playing that too, and one of the things that I forgot about was that I put up the grand champion somewhere on Dungeons and Dragons. It just may have been reset that morning because it was 203 million for grand champion. But I'm showing Wyatt on the camera right now that it is real. I am the grand champion at D&D. So there you go.
That counts.
That totally counts, right?
That was me back when I started playing at the pinball club here in Concord. We had just got the Metallica, I think, and it was before we even had the opening party or whatever. So I think maybe there were 8 or 9 plays on it, and I ended up putting up the grand champion score with 80 million, and I'm like, I don't care, I got it. I
take the picture, walk away. Check the box. That's been done.
I went and then looked on Insider Connect. It's like, the grand champion scores, in the billions. I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, at the club, I'm going to hold this. And I think it was broken within the next 3 or 4 hours. But,
later that evening kind of thing.
For those 3 or 4 hours, though, I felt good.
Yeah, I could have played because by virtue of volunteering, they give you free entry cards.
Yep.
But I mean, I maybe should have. I had to leave to go to my kid's soccer game. Then he had another one the next day, so it's I could have gone back Saturday morning, but it was a $150 registration fee to then use the free tickets that I had, which I never would have even come close to placing probably. But I would have gotten IFPA points that would have been worth something. So, what do you do? Hindsight being 2020, I probably should have done it, but I had fun either way.
Yeah, it's always nice to volunteer your time with something like that. Because, a lot of this sport, I'll call it a sport, why not? It involves hand-eye coordination. A lot of the sport, is reliant on the community volunteering and being able to help out with these events. Because
so much. Yeah, I think, I went the Saturday before for setup because they were getting, the trucks coming in with machines coming in from offsite, people having to set them up, put legs on, get them all, everything that needs to be done. And I think they said they had 13 people respond and 35 show up. So these are just, volunteers that doing it out of the goodness, spending their Saturday afternoon doing that. So yeah, always encouraging to see stuff like that. It's a great community.
So Nick.
Yes.
We talked about this earlier before we were on the podcast, and it's something that, you and I tend to go back and forth on in our everyday conversations. So I figured maybe we should talk about it where other people who don't care about it will have to be forced to listen to it, and it's not just us talking to each other about it. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
I shudder to think.
Aldi.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so Nick likes to tease me with his wonderful Aldi that is in his area with the seasonal closeout. I'm guessing that's what these are, the seasonal closeout prices for the things.
Yeah, I think we talked about it on here. Yeah, so
your memory's better than mine.
Yeah, so right now, it's not one specific store. I'm pretty littered with Aldis around here in the Chicagoland area, so I tend to just, wherever else I'm running errands, I'll just plug into the GPS, find me whichever the closest one is. But it seemed not uniform across the stores, but closeouts of all the summer stuff, special flavors of stuff, condiments, chips, snacks, everything was significantly discounted for me. So 25-cent bags of chips and popcorn and stuff. And I was taunting Wyatt and sending him pictures from the aisles because he says he never gets any of these deals, which is untrue.
Well, it wasn't untrue until 2 days ago, this past weekend. I finally went to my Aldi. This was after, I think, last week or the week before, Nick had sent me photos of the 25-cent dill pickle and Kansas City barbecue popcorn bags that he was getting. And I don't mean the single-serving size, popcorn bags. These are full-size.
Yeah, you're big boys. Yeah, in a world of $8 bags of Doritos, how can you not comment on something like that? It's worth taking note that there are still deals to be had out there, people.
Yes, so I immediately, after he had sent me that, immediately went out to my Aldi, which in my area we have one local one because compared to Chicago, I live in New Hampshire, where we don't have anything, and it's actually kind of surprising that I have an Aldi in my area.
It's okay. You live in a slightly less densely populated area, to put it lightly, but you also get to look out the window that's behind you and see a beautiful, lush greenery surrounding you on your decent plot of land. So don't be too upset, as you know.
Yeah, there's gives and takes. I'd take another Aldi in the area for one more building in the background.
I could give up a small little piece of my view for an additional closer supermarket access. Yeah, I can't argue with you. It's a great store.
So yeah, I headed out to Aldi Saturday, I believe, and scoured my aisles. Nick had shown me that he picked up I don't know if he picked it up, some weird flavors of ketchup you had found?
Oh yeah, so they had. So I had previously hit them up on mayonnaise and barbecue sauces for $1 or under $1 a piece. But yeah, they had the big ass squeezy ketchups, but they were jalapeno or habanero for I think they were
Yeah, that's
50
what it
cents
was.
or 50 cents or something. So yeah, grabbed a few of those. I'm not even like a ketchup and fries eater guy. I don't
You gotta
really eat
try
'em.
it though.
I don't love ketchup like as a condiment. Like I fully support, prior to moving to the Chicagoland area, the banning of ketchup on hot dogs. I don't think it belongs after the age of 8. Uh, and I'm with the people of Chicago on that opinion. But I do, I mean, I like ketchup, mustard, mayo on my burger. And yeah, I don't dislike ketchup, but I don't, some people, I think it's, the fries are more of a vehicle to get the ketchup in a lot of the time. But anyway, cheap ketchup, I had to buy it. And I don't know, I'll use it in place of tomato paste and chili on the occasion or something. I don't know. We'll figure out something to do with it. I like.
But yeah, the habanero ketchup. If you toss that into a chili instead of tomato paste, that might.
There's good applications there,
Yeah.
right?
And I got to take a little detour here because anytime I hear someone talking about ketchup and Chicago hot dogs, it just if we had a great soundboard right now, this is where I would drop in Carmi and Richie from The Bear in season 1 during the child's birthday party.
What kind of asshole puts ketchup on a hot dog?
Children, Richie.
Child asshole.
That quote or those lines just live rent free in my head whenever I hear anyone mention, really, not even Chicago, just ketchup and hot dogs. That is one of the greatest lines I think in that show. That
child asshole.
So yeah, I went to my Aldi. I didn't find any of the ketchups. I didn't find any of the barbecue sauces or mustards, which was a little disappointing. I'm more of a barbecue sauce and or mustard person than I am ketchup, so I was kind of excited to see if I could find those. I went through the aisles, and right before I was going to check out,
as he was giving up hope, people.
I was almost ready to just give up. I found a cache of popcorn.
Was there a gleam from the corner just hit your eye?
Yeah,
And
it was. It was Indiana Jones, shining the light through the staff. Yeah. It just kind of everything hit right. It went right through my glasses, and it just hit the popcorn, and it was like the skies just opened up for me.
Emanating out of the half-cut cardboard box was like a shine, like the suitcase from Pulp Fiction kind of thing.
Yes.
Just like
exactly. So I didn't get the 25-cent deal that you have in the Chicagoland area. However, I don't think it totally evened out, but since we don't have sales tax here in New Hampshire, I think mine was about 50 to 60 cents a bag. So I mean, it was probably a good 20 cents or more expensive than yours.
I'm paying 10% sales tax here. So,
yeah,
that's my bags were actually 27.5 cents,
oof.
I guess. Yeah.
All right, so still a little bit cheaper, but I picked up. I think I showed you. I picked up 10 to 12 bags of it because I mean it's good. The expiration date, which is a suggestion for most things, isn't until the middle of 2026 anyway. And I figured worst case scenario, I got these for cheap enough. I'll donate some of them to local shelter or local food bank or something because it's cheap enough.
Can squirrels eat dill pickle popcorn?
We could find out. But yeah, so I ended up.
A deal's a deal. No, what I noticed is mentioning multiple stores is that it's not even my area that has this deal. I think it's unique probably to every store's manager because I went to one down the street.
Absolutely.
And the same red tag deal that was at one was twice as much at the other, and it was still a good deal. But I think that they just have carte blanche to liquidate the items as they see fit, kind of thing.
Yeah, they probably sell through if something doesn't move at a particular store, mark it down as low as you can, as opposed to maybe that popcorn was selling at a higher price and they figured they didn't have to cut it as much to move it.
Yeah, and hey, I take some offense to you calling this out as a boring or uninteresting segment, just because I happen to find grocery shopping to be enjoyable personally. I think it applies for everyone. Everyone has to do it unless you're rich and you don't give a shit about the prices of groceries anyway and you have somebody do it for you, then it doesn't matter to you. But everybody's feeling these price increases. So I think it's great that we can highlight new additions to the Aldi family and be like, hey, $1.50 bag of chips, new flavor, some kind of weird onion stuff. I don't know what those flavor scientists are doing, but the people at Clancy's care about us. And that's end of my rant. Aldi's rules.
Say, and obviously going along with what you just said, is that if anyone hasn't been to an Aldi or just it looks like something that they're used to their normal grocery store. I mean, Aldi is fantastic. I really wish they'd sponsor us. Aldi is fantastic for staples or basics.
Staples.
I mean, my tortilla chips, salsas,
produce, shit.
Yeah, produce. Cheeses. I mean, their cheese selection, at least around me, is wild.
Oh yeah, because it's a European company, so they get a lot of stuff that you don't see all the time. But I don't end up buying a lot of their meats.
Meats are the one thing that I don't generally get from Aldi.
But as
Milk,
far as like
eggs,
it's just standard items and stuff that you're filling the pantry and or freezer with. It really can't be beaten most of the time, especially these days. And they have pledged that they're trying to hang on and reduce prices in areas, which I think will garner them a lot of loyalty. I was there on Saturday. It was the most packed, or Sunday. It was the most packed I've ever seen a single store. They actually had like all the aisles, the checkout aisles open. And
never seen that.
Yeah, I mean that's a rarity to see. Even half
Anywhere.
of them open in most stores these days, but they actually had them all open, and power to them. Best checkers in the game, man. They feed you through.
Yeah, that's one thing I do appreciate, and I personally, as someone that, I guess it's a weird thing, maybe, that prefers bagging my own groceries anyways, the fact that they just scan your stuff and toss it in a cart and basically, boot you in the ass and say, go take care of it yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it, but I actually take my stuff out to my car. I have my bags in my car, and I just bag my stuff right in the back of my car. I don't use their little checkout counter or anything.
I usually wheel it to the trunk. Yeah, and then just break out the bags from there. And I got legs. I can walk back for a quarter. Or half the time, somebody stops you and it's like, "Let me give you a quarter." And I usually tell them just pay it forward. But that's funny that we both do that. I think I've never seen a. Do you have Lidl? I can't remember what it's.
We don't have those here. I've never seen one of those. I know of them, but we don't have one that I know of. A quick internet search could tell me, I guess.
I was. Really, so for anyone that doesn't know, they're both German companies and both owned by siblings in the same family, I believe it is.
Yep.
When I was leaving Maryland, man, I was waiting for one to open forever, and they finally took the space of an abandoned supermarket near me, and it opened the day our flight left to go to California, so I never got to check it out. And I've been haunted to this day. I think it's essentially the same, but they have a bakery.
Yep.
In their stores, but it's closeouts and things like that. Aldi used to be a little more kind of ratchet, like it was bare bones before. It was just pallets of shit up and down the aisles and no frills whatsoever. And
that's how you keep costs down.
Yeah, for sure. And that's when the parents passed, and I think the kids took the business over. Was it that they started actually like bringing in some outside brands, not just generic staples, and freshening up the stores a wee bit, so they're at least like kind of presentable in the modern sense. But I
think so I think overseas there's Aldi Süd and Aldi Nord, I believe, and I think those are actually, and I'm probably going to be wrong, but I think, over here, I believe that, this is great business. So actually, over here, it's Aldi and Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's is part of the Aldi. The Aldi Süd, Aldi Nord here is Aldi and Trader Joe's.
Interesting. So wait, did they buy Trader Joe's at some point, or they always operated under the same umbrella, like as independent entities?
Aldi Nord bought Trader Joe's back at the end of the 70s.
Oh, way back. Okay, 50 years
Yeah,
ago.
and so all of the Aldi stores. God, there's so many things, that I should know or I should remember in life, and it's this stupid crap that stays in my head. It makes no sense. But all of the Aldis that are here in the United States are owned by Aldi Sud, Aldi South, and all of the Trader Joe's are actually owned by Aldi Nord. But instead, so breaking them up, they have two different names instead of being Aldi here.
I used to shop
yeah.
at Trader Joe's a lot more than I do, but then my wife just mentioned it the other day. Like, we haven't been in one in a long time. I think maybe it was kind of over COVID, but they started getting away from kind of being a more affordable store in a lot of respects and being more of like a niche kind of.
Yes, they've moved into the niche, like a little more expensive. Like, oh, these are interesting things.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a Trader Joe's fairly close to me, but yeah, I can't remember the last time that I've been to one.
Yeah, they used to have, like, I'm sure they still do, but I used to get like their frozen Korean short ribs were great.
Their orange chicken was really good.
Yeah, they had a couple like great freezer staple products that were cheap, and then like anything else, they just kept kind of ticking upward, and I say, well, it's not worth it at that price, kind of thing.
The last thing I'll say about Aldi, in my evangelism. Wow, I cannot talk today. My evangelism of Aldi is that it's a fantastic place if you find something just new. Like, they have such random stuff, and it's cheap.
Well, we're not even getting into the fines yet.
Yes,
of actual random shit. But yeah, new food stuff just randomly pops up all the time. Like, oh, they have Barks root beer pops this week out of nowhere, kind of thing. And that's kind of the bummer too, because it could be gone next week. You never know.
It's a thrill of the find.
Yep, the thrill of the hunt, as they say, for sure. Like, they only had Tim Tams for like a month there, and I was living good. And I thought, this is going to be a forever thing now. Nope, that shit's is gone. And I am sad inside every night when I have to get some sort of lesser cookie. They had the Belgian cookies with the chocolate. It's not the same.
There's a different.
Yep.
So... Anyway, I think
there's 30 minutes on groceries and intro there.
I think we just spent about 15 minutes talking about Aldi, so I think it's probably a good time to let's get into the meat. That was our intro. Let's get into the meat of the show, where Backlog. What do we call it? Backlog Brothers. Backlog
Buster Brothers.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. Backlog Buster Brothers. So again, the idea of this, for anyone that either didn't listen last week, which this is a really weird spot for you to start listening to our podcast, but hey, if you are, cool, we appreciate it. So the whole idea behind this is that Nick and I share not only a lot of the same interests, but apparently a lot of the same habits, and one of those habits being collecting media, whether it be physical or digital, whether it be video games or movies or TV shows, and
hoarding.
It's
term.
Let's stay away from the hoarding. We're gonna use this stuff. It's not hoarding. We have use for it.
That's the Judd Apatow quote, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's not hoarding if your shit is awesome.
So, we decided this would give us both a chance to start going through these things that we have collected that, maybe we have wanted to watch and or play, but maybe, you get decision paralysis, and instead of either staring at your shelf of movies for 2 hours and then going, I'm just going to put The Office on, or I'm going to put on Detroiters and watch 5 episodes of Detroiters instead of finding something new.
Just keep hammering away at Balatro instead of starting a new game. Yeah.
Right. And while that is fine and great, and, there is absolutely a place for that, I think both of us have decided that it would be fun and maybe even a little cathartic to start going through our backlogs. And
nothing wrong with comfort food, watches, plays, anything. I love my comfort food movies and shows, all that good stuff. But when you have everybody telling you all the time, oh, this is so great, you got to try it. Choice paralysis is absolutely real, and I swear we could dedicate an hour to that easily. Just talking about how, staring at the shelf, staring at your Steam library, staring at the movie library, staring at a streaming library. Oh, there's so many things on Netflix or Amazon Prime. I don't know what this is. Well, you want to watch that? Let's just watch The Office, like he said. It's just, So we get accountability from each other, and we get, like you said, maybe a little catharsis comes out of it, and I don't want to say productivity because this is still supposed to be leisure activity, but round out our libraries a little bit, or our experience, and we'll actually get to make do on the promise that we do intend to get to it at some point, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to always not have it yet, so eventually we'll get
starts
to
with
it.
I don't have it yet, or I'll get to it soon, and then now it's going to have to be I did play that last week or watch that last week. So on the subject, Wyatt assigned me. I hope you don't mind me stepping on you here.
No, I would like you to go ahead. I was going to suggest you go first.
So I was assigned an updated version. I'm reading the description here. An updated version of the classic anthology series featuring various tales of science fiction, mystery, and horror. And that, of course, would be the Twilight Zone. And this was Jordan Peele's 2019.
Yep.
Not rehashing, because they are original ideas, but just kind of
updating the format.
Yeah, a bit of a new generation, I would say. And I watched, I think, 3 or 4 of them. Have you watched all of them?
I'm about 6 in. I haven't watched any since I actually suggested it to you.
Yeah, so there are 2 seasons, and so more than I could certainly ever get to in a week. But each episode, stands on its own. It's an individual story kind of thing, so there's no missing out if you jump around. And I was able to watch a few, and I hope that you've seen the ones that I watched.
Hopefully. If not, I can at least talk about a couple of them with you.
All right, well, the first one was Downtime. Did you watch Downtime?
Which one was Downtime? Episode titles aren't going to mean a whole lot to me.
Okay. Oh, all right. So it's Marina Baccarin.
Yeah, yes, from Deadpool.
Yes, or a bunch of other.
That's
things.
where I know her from mostly.
My dreams, I think. I have a huge crush on her, so that was an easy sell. I was like, I'll start with that episode. But it also had Tony Hale was great in it. Coleman Domingo was great in it. So woman gets a promotion in her job as hotel manager, and all of a sudden she comes back from lunch and everyone's just staring slack-jawed at the sky.
Yes, okay, I do remember this episode. Yes.
Dead-eyed, looking up, and she's the only one that seems to be just awake and walking around, and then she runs into a person and they're like, oh right, it's that scheduled downtime. And they just continue going about their business, and then they freeze and look, up at the sky. She still doesn't know what's going on. And so that goes down a whole revealing hole, which was fun. I had a good time with it. And then you can chime in in case I'm forgetting anything without spoilers there.
So I don't want to give, thinking about these things now, I'm like, oh man, we got to make sure we don't
it's tough
fully
to
spoil these things.
Yeah. And especially with, I think a property like this where it is kind of twist heavy. The next one that I watched was, again, based on almost nothing except for, I don't know if it was maybe the next episode or it was, again, the cast, because I saw Thomas Lennon was in this. He was in the screenshot for it, and Paul F. Tompkins was in it. So it was like, okay, that was easy for me. And that one was called Ovation, where a singer-songwriter who is kind of struggling and busking becomes extraordinarily overnight famous, perhaps under mysterious circumstances, after a tragedy befalls another pop artist. You watched that one too, I'm assuming?
Yep.
And so I mean, without giving anything away, she gets given this coin that makes everyone basically adore her and shower her with applause. And she's questioning whether it has anything to do with her, that she's now becoming successful, or maybe it's not this. Is it this? Isn't? Is she going insane? So on and so forth. Good old type of Twilight Zone situation, I would say. And
did you watch the first episode? Because Ovation is a lot like
the first episode was Kumail Nanjiani,
yes.
The comedian. I did not watch that one.
Damn, that was a really I enjoy, and like I had just said, that one to me shared a lot with Ovation. It almost to me seemed like Ovation was kind of a retelling, I guess, of the first episode.
Okay,
I mean,
well, so
they're
that
definitely
is
different, but
that's like where I was gonna go next, but then Nightmare at 30,000 Feet kind of caught my eye.
that's with
Um,
Adam Scott, right?
Yeah, with Adam Scott, Ben from Parks and Rec, for anybody who's not immediately familiar, and you had mentioned it. I think it was one of the
Yes.
episodes you
Yep.
had said. So I was like, okay, let me go ahead and watch that one. And again, without giving too much away, it's not the Gremlin on the Wing story like the original type of Twilight Zone that you might think it would be. But basically, a guy's on a plane listening to a podcast and being told how the flight he's on is screwed. Basically, is that a good synopsis? And the pilot was played by Mickey Mouse himself.
I was gonna say, I was gonna hope you were gonna point out that Russ Hanneman was
Russ Hanneman's the pilot. Yeah, so that was an easy way to get me on board too. That was probably my favorite of the ones that I watched.
Mhm.
And I'll leave you with this in my experience thus far, though I do intend to definitely finish the rest of the show because I really enjoyed it. I think, yeah, overall it's a good, and I could see why you would recommend it to me. Is it as good as something like Black Mirror? I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If Black Mirror didn't exist, I would probably view this a lot more favorably, kind of if it just existing on its own. But because Black Mirror does exist, it's impossible for me not to compare the two. And I just think that maybe Twilight Zone is leaning into kind of a little more cliched storylines, whereas Black Mirror kind of zigs when you expect it to zag, kind of thing.
Yep.
So on the whole, like, big thumbs up, but maybe, yeah, a little more like in the 70s area kind of thing if I was rating it. Because like Black Mirror yeah, oh yeah. But like Black Mirror just came back and they did a sequel to the USS Callister episode. And like,
yes, that was really good.
That was like appointment viewing for me, and I was not disappointed. And I just didn't have that level of like holy shitness, you know, which perhaps is unfair because this is a property that's been on for the last 70 plus years in some capacity. It was rebooted in the 80s. There's been movies. The stories have been retold. And yeah, he's definitely putting his own spin on it. Jordan Peele is, but you can kind of tell he still wants to keep those nods, kind of the wink and nods to the original series and episodes in a lot of places. So,
I'm going to take that as a successful suggestion for the.
I think it's a win. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was certainly not. You're not outside of the box in saying that this would be, something that I would enjoy. It definitely was, and I think they're the right kind of format that you don't have to be invested in it in any way, and you can kind of dip in for an hour and then come back to it a week later and watch another one. And that's probably how I'll consume the rest of it. Is just like, what do you want to watch tonight? I don't know. Oh, let's check out another Twilight Zone. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. That's how I started watching it. Like, I watched the first 2 episodes, I think, in a night, and I was like, yeah, all right. But it was more of a, even for me, it's more of like an in-between, like you'd say, it's like an in-between viewing. Like if it's not, you have something like, oh yeah, we're watching this series. It's like, what do we want to watch? Instead of doing the, 5-hour shuffle, it's like, all right, let's just toss on an episode of so I 100% agree with
for sure. It's
what
just
you're saying there.
It's an in-betweener. Yeah, like if I'll usually watch movies on Friday or Saturdays with my wife, and then like Sunday nights is usually like, what show are we currently watching, so to speak. Whereas there's not as much like HBO appointment television, what it used to be Sunday nights, but we still have like whatever we're watching right now is what we watch on Sundays, kind of thing. So we just started the Jason Momoa show, Lord of War. No, not Lord of War, Art of War. Something about Chief of War.
Chief of War. Yeah.
Which seems really good so far. It's kind of like Hawaiian Shogun.
Yeah, that's a good description.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of where this will fit in, is just kind of like in between things like that, or maybe after we sit, watch the show of the week, we could put on an episode of Twilight Zone, or after a shorter movie or something like that. But what about your assignments this week, sir, before I take up the whole time with my jammering?
Yeah, no. So you assigned me, I already said earlier, the game Bastion, which is available at this point. I'm looking at a list right now. It's available on Windows, Mac, Linux, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and by extension, Xbox Series X. It's on mobile
People
now
can play
on
it if
iOS.
they want to, yeah.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah, reiterating this for anybody who's still not caught up. The idea would be it's something that I've played, he hasn't,
Yes.
or something he's watched, I haven't, vice versa, all the way around. Go ahead.
Yes. So somehow I've put probably maybe 5 hours or so into the game. I'd say maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. Enough to get an idea of the game. I'd say I'm probably, from the way things are going, I'm probably about 50% into the game.
It's probably like a 10, 12-hour game. And this is where it gets interesting, because I guessed that it came out in like 2017 or something ridiculous, when apparently it came out in 2011. So to say it's not entirely fresh in my memory is a bit of an understatement. I think I could definitely remember quite enough to comment in places, but you might have to hold my hand a little bit here, because apparently it is a lot longer. But it left clearly quite an impression on me.
So this game is awesome. I'll start with that. Yeah, no, okay. This is going to be a game that I will finish. I don't know if it'll be in the next week or two, or but this is going to be on my very short list. Right now, I don't have that much time to be playing games anyway. So it was nice to actually be able to carve out.
Boxes behind you.
Yeah. Well, there's more where that came from. There's still the little bit of time I have to play right now. Like, this will definitely be on that short list. So when you had pitched this to me, had told me, you had said, the big selling point on this game, I guess, when it came out, was that the game is narrated as you play.
I don't know if it was a selling point, but it was certainly unique to me. At the time I played it, I had never experienced anything like that in a game. And you can explain more to people about how it kind of works.
Yeah, it was funny because you had said that, and then I had said, so it's kind of like how Hades is, because Hades is after playing this game, it's definitely, this does it a lot more than Hades did. But you're like, maybe it's kind of like that. So then I immediately looked at the game, and I was like, oh yeah, this was created by Supergiant Games. This is the game that they made 10 years before they made Hades, and it's very evident where. I've played a little bit of Transistor, which I don't know if it was Transistor was the game that came out right after Bastion, but I know it came out after.
Yeah, I think it was a couple of years after Bastion, and I think we had both said that we didn't get particularly grabbed by it.
Yeah, Transistor was okay, but you can definitely see, as someone that has played Hades and someone that played way too much of the Hades 2 early access, that I cut myself off, and I think Hades 2 has had its full release, or it's at least getting very close to having its full release. I
don't know. It was in early access for so long that it just felt like that was the release, because everybody jumped on it right away.
Yes, and that's what I did, and I'm not going to pull up my Steam right now to look at it, because I don't want to be 100% sure, but I'm fairly sure I put about 25 to 30 hours just into the early release, which didn't include the entire game, obviously, because like Hades before it, they just kept building on the world until they had their release. But yeah, I believe Hades 2 either is very close or has recently had its full release. I know that they had made an announcement saying they were going to have like one more early access update, and then they were going to have the full release. But I don't know.
Well, what about Bastion?
Yes, Bastion. Sorry, thanks for taking me off. But yeah,
Hades 2 is either here or coming soon, but you can buy it right now, people.
Yeah, you can also buy Bastion right now as well. So yes. Anyway, what I was saying is you can see between Bastion and Transistor where Hades came from. So playing Bastion, it's like, oh yeah, like this is 100%. the Supergiant Games is building. You know,
they took this
stuff,
idea from here and ran with it here. Yeah.
And I know Supergiant Games said that they never wanted to release a sequel to any game, and actually Hades 2 was a big thing for them because they released a sequel. But I would love to have seen. I haven't finished the game yet, but I would love to have seen a second like Bastion game. I really, really am gripped by the game. So it basically starts off with you are an unnamed kid. You are called the Kid.
The Kid.
Yes.
Kid.
The
kid wakes up and doesn't know where he is. That's the game, right?
Yes. The stranger is the person who is narrating the voice. You get his name a little on in the game. Steer away from, too much revealing stuff. But the stranger is who you hear narrating the game from as soon as you hit start. Like he's, like you said, the kid wakes up, doesn't know where he is. He decides to walk to the Bastion because if something happened, everyone agreed to meet at the Bastion.
It was really clever to me is that it's not just like you get to the boss and he's like the kid sees the boss. It's like if you walk off the edge of the map and fall, he's like the kid needs to mind his step. He fell off the edge of the world. Like it's live as much as it could be kind of thing, and reactive, which makes it funny.
Yes, there were a few situations where something had happened. I think I was facing a boss or something, and I dodged, or I did a roll mechanic out of the way, and the boss fell off the side of the map, and he was like, sometimes it's better to dodge the enemies than it is to engage them or something. And it was just really cool. And I don't know, of course it's been
We're not doing it justice with this horrible voice work.
Yes, I try not to do voices because I can't. I would, and I guess it's been so long for you, so you probably don't have the recollection of it, but the guy that does the character of the stranger, like it almost sounds like he's doing a Sam Elliott stranger from The Big Lebowski voice, like that kind of narration. It almost sounds
Sam
like
Elliott
that to me.
Basically,
or just Sam Elliott's voice.
Yeah.
It's a really good like narration voice, and like
that's a perfect analogy though. If you've heard like the opening narration in the Big Lebowski, you're right on the same page. That's exactly what it is. You're right.
Well, yeah, like if Supergiant Games didn't pull that idea from hearing Sam Elliott and The Big Lebowski, I would be totally surprised. Like it almost sounds like Sam Elliott has decided to, after doing The Big Lebowski, do Bastion. But so it's an isometric 3D game. It's very much like Hades. The characters and the backgrounds are a little blockier, and they're a little more colorful, I'd say, whereas Hades, at least, it's you're in the underworld. It's very, grim. Of course, you climb up and it gets, you go to different zones, but Bastion has a lot of different colors. It's a very colorful game. Where it differs from Hades is where, as in Hades, you have 30 rooms connected to a level, and you're going through fighting bad guys, going to a boss, and then moving up and trying to get through the entire game. Bastion is more of a stage-based game. You go to different locations, you walk around the location, you clear out bad guys, you find secrets, you find items, you maybe fight a boss, you collect a piece of the core, which I won't get too much more into that, but each level you're supposed to be looking for a piece of the core to, bring back to your home base, to create places to swap your weapons or to upgrade your weapons. Much like they refined the formula for Hades, like everything is a through line. Like everything in that game you can see, which it's probably not a secret to anyone but me, who apparently never knew Bastion existed. There's a lot, that played through there. I really enjoy. I don't remember that for each weapon in the game, there's like a little mastery course that you have to go. Yes, I'm a sucker for anything that's like, you need to do XYZ to get first place, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna spend a half an hour here until I get first place.
That'll be me. Yep.
Yeah, that's been me since. Oh my God, I was probably a kid. I remember when I played Super Mario 64, for the first time, 120 stars. I did not leave a level until I got the 6 or 7 stars or whatever per level, and then I'd go to the next one. And I had to I wanted to be done with it and not have to go back to do it again. I don't know why
my kid would get along very, very well. Then watching him play Astro Boy was so painful for me because I'm like, just beat the level and then you can go back and get every single. Nope. And he wants 100% at his first run through, and no telling him otherwise. Yeah,
but what's funny about that whole mentality, at least for me, is that I absolutely love Metroidvania games, which is the exact opposite of that mentality, because in Metroidvanias you're always backtracking, you're always, and so I don't know, it's just when there's a goal to reach, I need to hit that goal before I go on to, step 2, step 3. But
talking about the narrator, the narrator is Logan Cunningham, who also plays Kronos, Hades, and Poseidon in Hades.
Okay, yep. Well, there you go. I'm very happy that they continued using him.
And he was the voice of the Transistor in the game Transistor. So.
All right, so he is a staple for Supergiant games. Then.
And he was a narrator in the show Don't Trust the Bitch in Apartment 23. Or you have to say Don't Trust the Bitch. I like that show, by the way.
Yeah, that is a good show. Yeah. That's thank you for bringing that up. I'm glad that they brought him on, because as I said, his voice is awesome. He does the stranger he does is just great. But to get back more into the gameplay, so basically you have a ranged weapon, you have a melee weapon, or when you swap your weapons, you could have 2 ranged weapons, you could have 2 melee weapons. You just have a list of weapons that you unlock throughout the game that you can use. You can upgrade those weapons, much like Hades. You could upgrade, the different aspects of weapons that you could use. You unlock different locations. Like I said, you unlock a place to get potions that can either, give you more healing or will give you 10% extra damage if you're at full health. Mm-hmm. You can unlock challenges, which likened to Hades, when you get the Scrolls of Punishment, or maybe it's what it's called in Hades, where you can modify the game to make it harder for you. Mm-hmm. There's the same thing. You go to a certain area and you can be like, okay, I want enemies to be more aggressive. Yeah, and now I get 10% more XP.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm about 5 hours into it, and I have an idea of where the story is going. I'm pretty sure I'm at a point where the quote-unquote big reveal is probably going to come up and something's going to happen. I don't know exactly what it's going to be yet. I have an idea, but it's enough that when I sit down to play it, I played it a couple nights ago before I had gone to bed. It was 11 at night or so. I'm like, all right, I'm going to play 15 minutes or so, because I hadn't had a chance to play all weekend. And Caitlin had come out, I think, around out of our bedroom. I'm up in my loft, which is close to where our bedroom is, and she was like, "Are you gonna come to bed?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, she's like, "It's 12:15." I'm like, "Ah, crap." And I'm like, "Yeah, let me just finish this level and I'll go to bed." But it's one of those games that you just can very quickly lose
track. Yeah.
Yes. So you gave
Twilight Zone. If I didn't mention the soundtrack is also one of my favorite parts of that game. It's Darren Korb, who's done Hades and Transistor and this, and I think Counter-Strike, one of the games or something. But the original songs and music for Bastion, I've continued listening to that soundtrack since I played the game. It's very, very
good. Yes. I was doing something. It was either yesterday or it might have been when I was playing over the weekend, and I play most of my games with as you can see, not the viewers, I play with a headset on. I don't play with speakers, mostly because, I'd rather keep my sound to myself and not bother people. But I was talking to someone, and I took my headset off, and I was playing. I'm like, oh crap! I'm like, I can't do this. I'm like, a majority of this game is either listening to what the narrator is talking about, or I want to hear the soundtrack. So I'm like, all right, I got to pause this game and have this conversation, and then go back to playing. But I definitely think this is going to be. I had already said this is going to be something I'm going to see the end of this game. I probably won't 100% it, because I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to need to do that. But it's going to be a game that I will play through to the end.
Finishing something is a win for us at this point. I don't think
yes.
I don't think 100%ing is really in my wheelhouse these days. I have too much to play, too many things I want to play. Like I was able to successfully eventually put down Expedition 33, and I'm proud of myself for that because I just wanted to keep going.
Yep. That actually, that is something I think on a later or a future episode, I would love to have a discussion on Expedition 33.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll have to try and make it as spoiler free as we can, but even just mechanics, music, everything that game blew my mind, and I need some place to let that out.
Yeah,
but,
I can do plenty on that one. But I think since we're running a bit long on time here, that we were worried we wouldn't be able to fill. So shows that we do get along, Wyatt. We have the assignments of the week.
Well, hold on 1 second.
Oh, okay. You go ahead.
You didn't let me give a grade for the game.
Okay.
I know it's probably, you probably assumed what the grade was.
I threw out that 70 something, but I didn't realize we were doing formal ratings. So go right ahead.
Yeah. We don't have to. I'm gonna give it.
I want to hear it.
I'm gonna give it 4 thumbs up out of 5, 4? I guess.
Okay, out of 5.
Every week, I'm sure my scale will be different.
A 4 out of 5.
But yes,
you got that reference. I don't know if anybody else will.
It doesn't matter as long as we get these things. That's why we're doing this.
I do things for an audience. Yeah.
But yes, I think last week I assigned you your task first, and if I didn't, I don't care. So I'll let you. Yeah. Okay, so you can assign me. So this week, for anyone, and I may have already said this earlier, I'm going to have a TV show or a movie suggested to me this week, and I'm going to suggest a video game for Nick, and we're going to alternate that way, so it just seemed more fun that way.
We have shit to talk about.
Yeah.
All right. So then your assignment, I get very excited about things when something passes me by that I wasn't aware of, and then I find it down the road, and I tend to start to evangelize it. And this movie was one of those things for me, and I may have mentioned it to you after watching it, but I had never heard of this, don't know how I found it, where it came from. It ended up in my collection somehow. I watched it and absolutely adored it. And that is Tim Travers and the Time Traveler's Paradox. Have you even heard of this?
No.
I think it came out earlier this year.
Oh, last year.
But it may have come out in other territories prior to that, I think, when I was looking. I get the impression it kind of sat on a shelf for a while because nobody knew what to do with it. And if you watch the movie, you will totally agree that was probably the case. So basically, without getting into spoiler territory, because this happens in the first couple minutes of the movie, it gets into what would happen if you traveled back in time by 1 minute and shot your younger self in the head. It's a paradox.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you then?
You would then not exist, or
cease to exist, or does that then cause the entire
or do you
universe,
rip the space-time continuum apart? And
you've created a paradox via time travel. So what happens, or what doesn't happen, and what happens because of that, or what? So if you're into movies that are going to make you ask questions, it's the kind of thing that I love. It's certainly worth that. But this is all done in an extremely tongue-in-cheek manner, high on the humor. Joel McHale plays a great kind of son of a bitch in this movie, which he's uniquely good at. Keith David and Danny Trejo make an appearance, or always welcome in my eyes. But if you were, I looked at one of the posters, and if you knew nothing about this movie other than the poster with Keith David and Danny Trejo on it, holding guns, you'd be like, okay, this is some straight-to-video release that skipped me by. It's not
Galaxy Quest. I'm looking at the poster right now, and it looks like Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, it looks corny as shit. Straight-to-video, something that you've never heard of, and God knows, I guess they needed a paycheck for this one. And no, it is not that movie at all. It's completely self-aware, really sharp satire, goes down some really interesting paths, and actually, makes you ask questions. So if we do indeed have the same brain, I think you should enjoy this one, because I certainly did.
I'm pretty excited for this. This looks like it will absolutely probably end up being a 7 out of 10 movie. I don't think this is going to be a masterpiece by any means, but you got Felicia Day, Danny Trejo, Keith David, and Joel McHale on a poster. Like I'm sold.
But by the way, I just with the amount of cartoons that I consume because of having a 9-year-old child and modern cartoons, Keith David is in everything.
He really is.
As far as voice acting credits, he doesn't miss too many shows or properties. Like he'll just pop up in some random thing my son is watching. I'm like, oh, Keith David is in this too. Yeah, go figure. I mean, he has a perfect voice, so it's no shock there. But I just felt the need to include that because I've been thinking about it lately.
So in the new King of the Hill.
Yep. And he's in Crapopolis. I'm just looking here. Super League of Pets. These are just voice things. The new DuckTales. He's in Amphibia. He's in the new Ninja Turtles. He's in The Princess and the Frog. He's in Rick and Morty. Let's see. He was in Hercules. Like, the dude
He's in Saints Row 3 and 4, I believe.
Oh, the video games. You're not even getting into that? Yeah. Oh, my God. He's been in a ton of games.
Keith David is very, very prolific voice actor. Actor. Yep. Let's just say actor in general. All right, so I have the pleasure of assigning you a video game this week.
I'm a little nervous.
That's all right. It'll be okay, I promise.
We are legitimately going in the dark in this. I think we should express that. There's no, like, let me just wink, nod, and tell you what it's going to be so you can get a head start. I'm curious. Yeah,
and I also want to say that, like, maybe sometime something will be suggested that isn't like a game that is a favorite, but it's like I want you to experience this as well to see your take on it.
Yeah, and just if it's worth doing just for the conversation, kind of thing.
I'm not saying that I'm going to give you a bad game by any means. I like to think that I'm going to give you something that you will enjoy, but maybe you won't, and that'll be great to see if you don't enjoy something that I like, and that makes for good conversation.
Oh, even more, yeah. What the hell were you thinking with this piece of shit? Jesus. No.
What game came out last week? Big game.
The one
that crashed every online store.
Or Battlefield or something? I don't know.
No. We talked about this game that came out.
Oh, God, you're putting pressure on me.
It's been in development for over a decade. It's a sequel.
Oh, right. Hollow Knight. Yeah, Silk Song came out.
Silk Song. Yes. Yeah. So I see on your backlog that you've never played the first Hollow Knight.
No. That is like the definition of I should really get to that.
All right. So this week I'm going to assign you Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
Oh.
I threw a curveball. Yeah. So no, not Hollow Knight. But the reason why I say both of these together is they're both Metroidvania type games.
Yeah, definitely in the same genre type.
And Hollow Knight absolutely was going to be the pick that I was going to give you because I would like to play Silk Song, and I actually think that would be a good thing if we both were able to go in to play Silk Song and maybe have a discussion on what we think of it.
Yeah.
But after I saw that you have Bloodstained Ritual of the Night on your list, I needed to give you that because I actually started replaying that, I think, right before I moved because I had decision paralysis and was like, I don't know. And I'm like, I really love Bloodstained. I played it on my Switch, which was probably the worst place to play it with frame rate wise and everything.
I have it for Switch, of course.
It played fine. Like, I had no problem playing it on Switch, but I was like, I'm going to play this on PS5 and just see, if it runs any better, which I'm sure it runs at 60 FPS as opposed to 30 on the Switch, but it didn't seem to make too much of a difference.
But 2D platformer kind of thing.
Yes, it's a spiritual successor to Symphony of the Night. I believe the composer for Symphony of the Night was heavily involved in the creation of this game as well.
So full cards on the table, I did play a smidge of this when it first came out and I first got it, and then I think I either got stuck or got distracted and never got any. I'm talking like a half an hour I might have.
And that is not even enough to know.
I remember nothing.
Yeah. I would say for the purposes of our podcast, I guess.
Yeah.
Something that you haven't, like, if it was over a decade ago, you've played a half an hour of it.
Yeah.
Half an hour of this game, really, I think you might just have got to the point where it's like, oh, because I think it's about half an hour into the game where the title screen comes over
one of
the
those
screen.
things. Yeah,
So,
like the extended intro sequence. No,
Yes.
I would not consider myself to even be close to being able to form a whole opinion like about the game, and its quality by what I did. I got it because I wanted it. I obviously picked it up and then got distracted by something because I played all of Curse of the Moon. And I have Curse of the Moon 2 sitting in my backlog as well, which I'm sure you noticed. So, yeah, this is great. This is a must-play for me. It's definitely been one that I've been meaning to. So, hopefully this will actually get me to do so. Well, it has to, because I have to be able to talk about it next week.
We're accountability buddies. So
Accountability, buddy. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, I'm going to play it on Switch. I think it might actually be in my Steam library, or it might have been a freebie on Epic or one of those. Or GOG.
I have it, I think, everywhere it's possible, so it's more than likely it was either in like a humble bundle or...
if it's better off being played on PC or something, I'll do it.
It would... I'm going to guess, performance-wise, it definitely would be better to play on PC or something other than Switch. I'm sure it doesn't have a Switch 2 upgrade, so I would just say...
I don't have a Switch 2. My kid does.
Then it doesn't even work. Doesn't even matter then. So I'd say if you have it on PC, I'd go ahead and play it there.
Okay.
But
I do like me a handheld, though. I might have to go that route just because
you can play it.
I can find a lot more time that way.
Yeah, like I said, another game I don't think I ever 100%ed because I don't, but it's a game that I did more than just, complete the story on my Switch, and I never had any issues with it. I just figured for my second playthrough, I own it in multiple forms. I might as well play it somewhere else.
Yeah, for sure.
But,
is it one of the Symphony of the Night situations where I'm going to beat the game and then the castle flips upside down and I have to start all over?
It's actually been long enough since I've beaten it. Yeah, even if I do, I'm not going to tell you because.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I can't remember, to be perfectly honest with you. I feel like once you beat it, I think there is more of the game. But
you're too honest. You should have just leaned into it, be like, maybe you'll find out. Maybe
it's my flaw.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that brings us to about a little over where we should be. But whatever. Sometimes we enjoy talking to each other, and we might as well.
I sure as hell hope so.
It's either I'm going to be talking to you, or as soon as I get off here, I'm going to start talking to my dog. So might as well, do that. So for We Don't Have It Yet, this is Wyatt, and this is my good buddy Nick, and we hope you guys have a great week.
Yep, find us on Blue Sky. We will have a website up soon. That's a promise. I need to be accountable on that one. And have a great week, everybody.
Love you.
Oh, you just hung up right away.